action.
Well, guys, here we are. It's Thursday, and we keep coming across
6 o'clock.
challenge after challenge after challenge.
We should be out testing right now.
Yeah, that was the plan from yesterday. It doesn't look like we're gonna be racing again this weekend, unfortunately. So we pretty much just, there's so many obstacles that have come up that we've done what we could to try to prevent. And it's quite frustrating and disheartening. Is that the word?
You said frustrating, and I could only think of disheartening. Is like the only word I could come up with. Like, so there's no sugarcoating it. We've had a pretty rough couple years that were like, you could really only blame on bad luck, I guess you could say. I don't freaking know what else. Like, I always thought we did pretty well to keep up good karma, but did our part to keep up good karma. Hell, we donated like $5,000 worth of work the freaking week before we lost the Dirty 30. And that's when you were off of work and I was off of work. Like, we didn't have no income. And, yeah. So, yeah. So, there's no doubt that, like, it's been rough the last couple of years. But we're also, there's only 2 people that really saw the capabilities of what we were capable of. And, like, we're just, like, kind of basically running on that for, like, a while now. Like, just off of the, what would you say? Basically just running off of, like, the faith in ourselves of, like, what we're capable of doing and stuff like that. And, it's been rough. So, long story short,
We won't be racing again this weekend.
we're not racing this weekend. As you can see earlier in the video, you can't really see it, but about 3 o'clock in the morning, I figured out the cause of the issue. Something like that, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Sammy was over for a while from Boosted My Friend, and we were trying to chase something down, trying to figure out what the hell was wrong. And what really sucks is, like, I should have 2 spare motors right now, like, that we started working on.
Over a year ago.
That we brought to, that we started working on over a year ago.
Yeah.
Almost a year and a half ago now. Right? Well, we brought out the Homegrown Hustler in March, April.
Yeah.
And we dropped off that motor in May, I think. So May of last year. And it's August? September. It's August. So May, June, July, August. So 15 months ago, we dropped off that stuff. And, yeah. So, long story short, I guess you could say some, I don't know if I want to say it this way. I guess we could edit it. But some, like, kind of bad deals and some empty promises, like, kind of went, like, kind of wrong. So, like, the only way I could think about explaining it to someone is, okay, you and your family have been working real hard, right? You and the wife or whatever, or you and your husband or whatever, have been working a lot of overtime and, like, busting your butt and
Saving up
to go out for a really nice dinner. Now, don't get me wrong, like, we've never even had one of these dinners before. But let's say, like, you went out and, like, you reserved the spot for the family, reserved the reservation, and you paid for the meal up front. We've never went to a reserved dinner. Maybe besides, like, a banquet for, like, your grandma's birthday or something like that. That ain't a friggin' reserved dinner.
No, you said you reserved the reservation, like you reserved the reserve.
You may, whatever.
Anyways,
guys, I do race
getting
cars.
back to it.
I do race cars. I don't do friggin' public speaking. That's why we're not YouTube superstars yet.
You work really hard, save your money to pay for this nice dinner that you've been looking forward to. It's, you know, you've got the reservation, you've got everything paid for dinner. You
Yeah,
want to have a
like,
nice
let's say it's one of
time.
those restaurants that, like, everything on the menu is the same price. It's so freaking like so expensive that like everything's the same price. So you just say, hey, we got 5 people, and they're like, oh, okay, here's your bill, right?
Is that
So
how it works?
I think so.
I thought they just don't put.
I don't know.
The price on the
My brother's
menu.
been a cook at some of those restaurants. I should ask him.
Yeah, but I think they just give you the menu and there's no prices on the menu.
I don't know. I've never been to a place like that.
I'm sure that's.
So
what it is.
let's say like that's how it is, right? You got your reservation 6 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Your reservation's for 6 o'clock. The meal's paid for and everything like that. You and your family get in your car in your friggin' like your little cheap SUV because like, well, you're gonna go out for a nice dinner and you're gonna live it up for a little while, right? So you're on the way there. On the way there, the alternator belt breaks. No big deal. I got a tool set in the back. We fixed the alternator rack. So on and so forth, right? Now you run into an accident. Not your accident, someone else's accident.
It just gives you a time delay.
It just gives you a time delay. Life's not that bad, right? There's still something optimistic. It wasn't you in the car. It wasn't someone else, and there was no casualties. So the accident, it's only a time delay. It's an inconvenience. It sucks. You're supposed to be at dinner. It's 5:30. You're still 45 minutes away from this place, but you know, you're only going to be 10, 15 minutes late. No big deal. So the accident clears up. You find a detour. You start going around. Boom! There's a mudslide. Crap! What do we do now? Guess we got to turn around. Now it's 6:45. 5:45. What time did I say?
6 o'clock for reservation.
5:45, okay? So you start going the other way. Bam! Another accident. Not yours. Oh, okay. This is starting to get a little difficult. What do we do? So we start going around, and we get within 5 minutes of the restaurant.
And you run out of gas.
And you run out of gas. Now, you're friggin' a half hour late for this reservation. No, we can't say, no, that's a bad analogy.
Okay.
Because running out of gas is your own damn fault.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
That's a bad analogy.
Okay.
Take that back. She's
okay.
wrong. Cut. So, then, what else do you want? Something to happen. Something else happens, okay? But you're only 10 minutes away from the restaurant. But now you're a half hour late to your reservation, 45 minutes late to your reservation. And they said you had to be there within 10 minutes of your reservation. At what point do you just turn around, stop at the store, buy your own damn steak,
and go home.
and go home,
Cook your own meal.
and just call it a freaking day? Well, guys, that's where we're at. Like, I'm perfectly okay, even though we're 10 minutes away from that restaurant, 5 minutes away from that restaurant. We're now 3 weeks behind where, like, the time that this car should have been running and driving and, like, testing. We still have a big race in 10 days up in New York with our family. We're 3 weeks behind doing the gender reveal with the car.
Yeah, which is honestly even longer than that because
Yeah, it should have been like a month ago because the car should have been running. Like, we should have had all our stuff together, like, at least a week before friggin' dig or die. So that would have been like July 15th or something like that. So, yeah, like 4 weeks ago. So, we're about to just friggin' get Maddy's like little Honda, put in the stones and mix in some friggin' gender reveal powder in the stones and go do a burnout or something like that.
I told you I'll get the powder from Nikki and do a burnout in my Honda Accord in reverse because it's front wheel drive.
Yeah, but you gotta do it like in the sand because your car's probably not gonna even do a burnout. It's closer to doing burnout than this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a burnout in this thing. Well, the freaking thing will just go fucking blow up. So yeah, so that's where we're at. So, I'm pretty sure I'm ready to settle for like a peanut butter and chocolate chip sandwich, as long as it's in my own house, and like I could not think about the dinner deal no more. So basically, that's where we're at, guys. So I think we're gonna not take a vacation because that's not really.
We're gonna take a step back.
Not even take a step back. We're just gonna friggin' like maybe clean up around here and just like take 2 days off or something like that. Maybe we'll go sleep in the back of the pickup truck under the stars in the mountains. and hope a cougar doesn't eat us.
That doesn't sound very good.
That sounds exciting though.
Yeah, but like, I'm not trying to get bit up by mosquitoes because I already get mosquito bites here, and I'm already
So what's the difference? At least we'll be
I
in the
don't want
woods.
any mosquito bites.
Let's go find want to go find like a waterfall or something like that? We'll just sit under the waterfall. They say it's soothing. I'm not that type of person. I'd rather like be doing cool stuff, but like maybe we could go sit in a creek or something like that. Maybe we could go find the ones like they do over in Japan where the fish like
Eat the dead skin off your feet.
yeah. They say that's supposed to be pretty relaxing. What do you think?
That kind of sounds gross, and it creeps me out.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of weird. What about leeches? We can get a whole bunch of leeches on us. They say they cleanse your body.
Ew.
I don't know. That's an Asian thing, I think.
Leeches?
Yeah. You never seen the leeches? They put leeches on you on purpose?
No, absolutely not.
I know. I wouldn't do that either. But yeah, guys. So that's where we're at. And another thing is like we intentionally, knowingly, no income literally for like 3 months now, so that we could get the car together, so we could get back to doing like what we gotta do. And now
we've been living very, very, very simply.
Like we live in the toter home.
Yeah. And honestly, the air conditioning broke. It's not even like.
Yeah, broke a couple days ago, and we just got the parts in yesterday.
Yeah.
Just got the parts in yesterday.
We got the replacement piece that we thought we needed, but then it was something else that we needed, so I had to order that. But then they're all in now, so like it's gonna be.
It wasn't that
brand
big.
new.
It's not that big of a deal. And it's gonna be like a brand new AC unit on the thing, but still pretty hot out and miserable out.
Yeah, we've had a couple of days or weeks or whatever you want to say where we haven't had.
I was very tempted, like a couple days ago. I was like, you know what? We're like literally like a half hour away from starting this thing up, and all we gotta do is like put the panels back on the car, and like we can go test. But I was really tempted to just be like, you know what? Let's just go take like a day off. I was like, you know what? We'll be able to go testing Thursday either at Shadyside or Mooresville, and then we could test. We could either test Thursday or Friday at Mooresville, or Thursday at either Shadyside or Mooresville. Friday, we could either test at Shadyside, or we could head up to Ohio for the Uncaged event, and we could test it in Ohio Friday night or Shadyside Friday night, and then Saturday we'll race whether we're up in Ohio at Uncaged event or down at the Carolina Cash Days. So yeah, that's another like $200 of a freaking lock-in fee or a freaking buy-in fee that we're not getting back, and then this and that and everything else. And if we don't go racing, like we don't make money. Like the YouTube videos don't get any views, so like not that we make much money off of YouTube, but still, like us doing a video like this doesn't get any type of revenue compared to like something in action, like something cool that people want to see. And then we don't sell no merchandise and stuff like that, and then we don't and hell, like we have a car here that should be like, I don't want to put a number on it, but like I firmly believe is a top 10% car at every event we'll go to, and we're not going puppy kicking. Like we're gonna go try to swing with the best of them, but I don't know. I don't want to say puppy kicking. That's wrong, because like there's nothing wrong with being. I miss that, not completely, because I'm competitive, like, and I like to see the evolution, but like I kind of miss the days back when I was in like high school or just after high school, where I was going like high fives, mid sixes, and like just having fun. Like,
but you weren't puppy kicking.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that wasn't puppy kicking, right? Like that's like that's when like this, like right now this is don't take this wrong. Like this is what we have decided to do.
Yeah.
Like this is like we love this stuff. Like, and I don't say this in any like lightly. Like I don't say it lightly. Like we love this stuff, and there's no doubt that there are much easier ways to make a financially stable living and so on and so forth. But like, we're simple people. We don't need to live in a freaking $300,000 house. We don't need to drive a new car. We don't care about that stuff. Like, we literally don't. But at the same time, like, this stuff takes a lot to be able to do. So it's feasible for us. Not feasible. There's potential to make it 100% potential. Like, we've had the opportunities out there that were freaking huge. Like, right before we lost the Dirty 30. Like, we had some very big, like, opportunities coming up with that car that year. But then, like, the Home Run Hustler, like, that car could have easily won us $50,000, like, in the first year out with the car. Like, very easily could have made us $50,000. And, like, that's plenty enough to, like, make us plenty happy. Like, plenty happy. Like, if I, like, we literally, out of pocket, no joke, we put this car together. Don't get me wrong, like, we had most of the parts, and I had a lot of not only the parts, but I still had tubing, and I still had stuff that, like, my net worth, okay?
Yeah.
I guess you could say. Besides, like,
You had like some assets already.
I guess you could. We'll call them assets, okay? We'll call this chromoly tubing my assets and stuff like that, and the optic armor windows and like the brakes and stuff like that, and the axles and like most of the electronics on the car. They're all stuff I already owned. We literally built a whole new car using all like my assets that I already had, like because cash money is not a lot of it, right? We put a whole nother car together for like probably less than $2,500. Don't get me wrong, we worked on that thing to make it to dig or die. That car was worked on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to make sure it was ready. To make sure like it was ready to run and drive, and the borrowed motor was different. So yeah.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, that's that, guys. I wish we had better news, but if you're a spectator, we're probably just gonna like, we're probably not gonna go anywhere. Like, not even spectate, because like,
we just gotta.
I hate to say it, but like, spectating is just like, I don't know how to say it this way, but like, maybe this would be a relatable thing. Maybe this is completely bad, and this is maybe why we're not YouTube superstars and why I suck at this stuff. But it would be like, hey, let's go dancing. But you know your ex-wife's going to be there with her new boyfriend that she cheated on you with or something like that, right? Like, why the hell do you want to go to the dancing, right? Even though you love dancing, why the hell do you want to go to that dance place? Like, you don't want to, right? You just like...
I was thinking it was like when you're hungry and you're watching somebody eat, but you can't eat yourself.
Maybe that's a normal person's way of thinking, right? But like me, like...
And you're just sitting there watching somebody eat, and you're like, wow, like...
Maybe that's a little bit better of an analogy.
It's simple.
But for me, like, I feel like we should be able to go to Uncaged and be like, if we tested today, I believe in 4 or 5 hits, we could be pretty close to being competitive with the people at Uncaged up there. Shady Side Out, or the Carolina Cash Days deal, it's going to be quite a bit faster. It'd probably take 10 or 15 hits that we probably wouldn't be able to get on the car in that time to go as fast as you'd need to go there to be competitive.
The difference between that, though, is one's a front side race, one's a back side race.
Yeah, one's a backside race and one's like a front side.
There's a huge difference.
No prep, but not really no prep, because like that's way faster than most of the no preps we run. But or we have ran in the past. So yeah. So that's that. I don't have intentions of letting myself get real hungry and going to watch someone else eat steak and lobster. I hate to say it that way, because like I love the sport, but at the same time it's just like it's just salt in the wound. Like, hell, we should have friggin' 10, 15, 20 hits on this car by now. So, yeah.
We're gonna take a couple days and step away, regroup,
Step away.
do something else, get your mind off of it.
Try to.
try to get a little enjoyment out of doing something else.
I'll probably come back with 2 black eyes in the next video, guys, because Maddy's gonna punch me a couple times and she'll be like, Nick.
I don't want to hear about it anymore.
I know. I lived it.
That's the thing. Like, yeah. It definitely sucks.
And no, the worst part is, like, we've been so freaking close to some really big opportunities that, like, legit could make this,
like the blood, sweat, tears, hard work, and all that we've put into it, like, be worth something.
yeah, like
we're close to having
to a point where, like, we could almost make like, I don't want to say a living doing it, but like come really close to making a living doing it. And it's very possible to make a living doing this stuff if you're good and you do it honestly. Well, it's a whole lot doing it better if you do it unhonestly, but like there's still a possibility to do it honestly and like genuinely and like do everything you got to do to make it, to do it right by your morals and standards, and still have enough to like live a simple life.
Yeah.
Because we're simple people. We really are. Like, besides race cars, like, we're simple. Like, I mean, I'm in my short shorts that you can probably see right now, because they were like friggin' $4 at Walmart or something like that. And I'm in my knockoff Crocs with friggin' holes in them, because like I don't give a crap about that stuff. And I got my nice Willwood shirt on, but that came with the brake kit that I bought. She's in a no-name t-shirt and some
Walmart shorts.
Walmart shorts. The sandals.
Don't look at my shoes.
The sandals were $40 though, because she's pregnant. I said, "Go."
I needed to get some good shoes.
She was like, "Nick, my feet aren't feeling so good." I said, "What you mean?" She's like, "Well, I'm gaining weight a little bit, and like, I'm like, I got a kid inside me." I said, "Well, then go find a store that has the right shoes and go buy them." So she went and bought some shoes. But besides her $40 sandals, we're simple people.
I have like sneakers, but it's too hot to wear sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
Way too freaking hot. And my Crocs, like I have name brand Crocs, which you've seen Crocs, they're like a wider shoe. When my feet are hot and swollen, the Crocs are tight on my feet. I don't know. Don't want to admit that, but it's part of the pregnancy, I guess.
It's nothing wrong. So you can't get mad at me. It's biological.
I'm not mad at you.
It's natural.
I know. So the Crocs weren't doing it for me anymore anyways.
So guys, I guess we'll wrap this up.
Maybe we'll do a little bit of footage on our trip though. Whatever we decide to do, a half hour away or whatever it is.
I just want to go to a creek and lay in a creek, a cool creek, with sexy Rexy laying on my belly. Like we slept last night in the chair.
Whatever.
Literally, I set him up. So I got this like recliner chair that I sit in because it's a little bit easier on my stomach. Like, I like laying in a bed, but sometimes it messes with my stomach. So I was sleeping in a chair, and I had sexy Rexy propped up. I laid in the chair like this and slept. Not last night. That was like 8 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
When I was just like, you know.
He must have left you and came and woke me up because I heard him come up the steps in the back of the truck.
You know what? Let's end this video. I need to get some chocolate ice cream in me because I'm just not feeling it right now.
Okay.
You think?
Whatever.
Okay, let's do it. Guys, I appreciate you guys. I genuinely appreciate all you that support this journey. Like, for real, like, there's a lot of people, like, basically everyone on YouTube, or, like, everyone that has any social media presence, like, says that. But, like,
yeah,
genuinely, we appreciate it. We're real. And, some people don't like it because it's real. Because some people like to see sunshine and rainbows. And you know what?
Unicorns, butterflies, sunshine.
I'd love to see them too.
But...
And don't get me wrong. When we see them, we're like some of those people that take that, like, altering stuff. Like, when we see them, we appreciate the hell out of it. You know what I mean? It's like,
When we go through have those times.
When we go to the 3D movie and we got our 3D glasses on, that's an analogy, babe.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a 3D movie?
No, but I'm imagining it, okay?
Aren't they 2D?
I don't freaking know. Without your glasses on, they are, right? But, like, don't get me wrong. When we see things in 3D, like, we put our glasses on and we're enjoying it, we're loving it. Like, that's what we live for. But guess what? Sometimes the freaking person next to you or you're a little kid rips your glass on you and you gotta watch the 3D movie in 2D. Right?
Something like that.
Something like that.
We're not giving up. We're not done. We're just taking a breather.
When you buy some parts and replace some things, and I don't want to give a detail because I don't want. It just is what it is. One day, though, one day, when I'm old, if you guys are old, you're screwed. But when I get old, one day, I've been around this stuff for a really long time, and I have information about a lot of things. Not necessarily like knowledgeable information. Wouldn't say I'm stupid, but at the same time, like
Useless information?
Not useless information, but information that, like, if you talked about it, it could make you look bad. But one day when I'm old and wrinkly, I might just get to that point where I freaking lay it all on the line. It ain't gonna be anytime soon, though, guys. Because, like, some people would get really upset if they got all the truth. Would that be wrong to say? We should probably cut that out in the video.
You already said it.
Whatever. It's
something that I was thinking about earlier. Like, you meet people and have opportunities, and sometimes, like, the timing isn't right, or, like, a person just isn't for you. It might be great with other people, but, like, not everything is, like, meant for you. You're not gonna like everybody. You're not gonna make people happy. There's gonna be people, no matter what you do, you could be the best person in the world. No matter what you do, there's gonna be somebody out there who doesn't like you and who doesn't get along with you. So, like, it causes friction and tension, and, like we said before, can be disheartening at times.
I've wondered how many times someone, like, has a feeling towards someone else because that someone else never voiced their, never wanted to talk bad about a situation.
Yeah.
So how many times did that person, like, look bad or get talked bad about because they weren't the one to
speak up and say something.
Is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Take the high road and keep trenching after a little time off. I think that's it.
We'll be back.
Probably a couple days. Probably with some smiles and maybe a creek and some sexy Rexy time. Are you allowed to walk through the creek when you're pregnant? Because you're a little top heavy. You might tip over on a slippery rock or something. We'll give you some mechanics gloves, so when you tip over on a slippery rock, you won't put your hands open. What do you think?
Sure.
I'm looking out for your best interest, babe.
Thanks.
Gotcha.